From Usain Bolt's unbeatable record to Manchester City's Erling Haaland's fast feet, these are the greatest speed demons in sports. Let's begin with the person who can easily be mistaken for the Flash, Usain Bolt. As you all know, Bolt has definitely set the bar to new highs with his world record breaking. At the 2009 World Championships in Athletics, his speed was measured to be at an all-time high. Between 60 and 80 meters in the 100-meter sprint, Bolt was running at a whopping 27.33 miles per hour. He finished the 100-meter race in only 9.58 seconds. The Jamaican sprinter's the only person to win Olympic 100 and 200-meter titles at 3 consecutive Olympics. Not to mention, he also won the 4x100 relay gold medals too. To sum it all up, he's an 8-time Olympic gold winner, so the guy's pretty much a living legend. But why is he so fast? Well, the obvious answer is a lot of training, resistance training to be specific. He targeted his core to improve his weak back, which is because of scoliosis he faced as a child. Video analysis showed that the retired sprinter not only took fewer steps than his competitors, but also had a reduced step rate. This meant that he was generating additional power behind each step to take him further. So the Bolt in his name is perfectly justified because he's just really fast. Now, it may be easy to pick the fastest sprinter out there, but things aren't so clear-cut for other sports. When it comes to the NBA, there isn't a single fastest player. Instead, there are a number of players that can hold the title. One of them includes De'Aaron Fox, who plays point guard for the Sacramento Kings. Fans call him Swipa, named after the thief from Dora the Explorer. It's fitting because opposing teams can't seem to get a hold of the ball when Fox is on the court. Even though people think that Fox is an average player overall, his speed's not to be taken lightly. Another player who's very dangerous and quick is Mo Bamba from the Los Angeles Lakers. During a private pre-draft workout with the Chicago Bulls, he clocked a 3.04-second three-quarter court sprint. Keep in mind that Bamba is 7'1", and freakishly tall people like him have a tendency to be slow by nature. But it looks like the player named after that Sheck West song is defying all odds. You should also know that his 3.04-second record beat another basketballer, who's also considered to be one of the fastest in the NBA. Russell Westbrook of the Los Angeles Clippers is a strong contender for the quickest man on the court. He was an unstoppable force in his prime, and now that he's in the latter years of his career, he may have slowed down, but that doesn't mean his stats are any less than what they were a few years ago. Now, being the fastest on the court may come with its perks, but it comes with an even bigger advantage in an open field. Sports like the NFL found its Speedy Gonzalez in Tyreek Hill. The wide receiver for the Miami Dolphins was the best one in 2022. Well, at least that's what the fans say. At the 2022 West Alabama Pro Day, Hill clocked a 4.29-second 40-yard dash, and no defensive play ever has stood a chance against his speed. You thought Usain Bolt being nothing but a yellow blur on camera was an issue. Have you seen Tyreek run across a football field? Audiences sprain their necks looking back as Hill blows by them at a top speed of 23.34 miles per hour. So why is he so fast? The same way the Jamaican sprinter works his magic. It's all about training, ground time, and short strides that give you great acceleration. Tyreek was crowned the fastest in 2022, but who took his spot this year? At the 2023 NFL Scouting Combine, cornerback DJ Turner II beat Hill's record by a few milliseconds. DJ's 40-yard dash clocked in at a blazing 4.26 seconds. So I'm sorry to say this, Tyreek, but it looks like you'll have to step your game up. DJ plays for the Michigan Wolverines, and don't get him confused with the one in the Las Vegas Raiders. This Turner is still incredibly young at only 22, and has a long way to go in his career. To make this even more interesting, there's one athlete who's known only for his speed. And the best part is, he was a professional sprinter too. Bob Hayes even had a nickname because of how fast he was back in the 60s. People called him Bullet Bob because of how he'd zoom from one point of the track to the other. Bob once ran a 60-yard dash on a cinder track in 5.28 seconds. I mean, that material's used to slow racers down, not make them faster. But Hayes? He won the 1964 Olympic gold medal, clocking at 10.05 seconds in 100 meters. And he won by not one, not two, but 4 full meters. In the Tokyo Finals, Bullet Bob was 5 relay teams behind when he got the baton on the anchor leg of a 4x100 meter, and he ended up making 9 meters on the field within 8.6 seconds, clearing 2 meters ahead of the next racer after crossing the finish line. I'm sorry, but that's not running. I think Star Wars calls it hyperdrive. Records like that at the time were beyond anyone's capabilities, and I'm sure some NFL players and track racers think of Bob as a legend. Hayes is the only person to win 2 Olympic gold medals and a Super Bowl. Speaking of fast players from the past, let's talk about another sport that also requires great speed on the field. In baseball, Rickey Henderson remains undefeated from his record set in the 80s. During his Hall of Fame career, Rickey set the highest record for stolen bases, marking up to 1,406 in total. The highest single-season stolen base record was also set by him, at 130 in the modern era. Henderson clocked a 9.6 second time in a 100-yard dash, and keep in mind that's only a few milliseconds below Usain Bolt. With stats like those, it looks like no one in the MLB's even close to beating his records. Yup, that's right, records plural. To put things in perspective, the second most bases stolen by a player is 938, a record held by Lou Brock in the 60s. So Rickey's beaten everyone from the past and still remains on top nearly 2 decades later. But today, there's some young and fresh faces vowing to smash Rickey's record. Well, this man needs no introduction because of his recent performance at the FIFA World Cup. You might think that Kylian Mbappe is the fastest soccer player of all time, but think again. That title clearly belongs to none other than Gareth Bale. When he played for Real Madrid, Bale's sprint on the field clocked at 24.79 miles per hour, making this a record yet to be beaten. The Welsh soccer player did everything for the Spanish club at the young age of 24 and even proved to be faster than Cristiano Ronaldo. When comparing the two, former Argentinian player Pablo Zabaleta pointed out that Ronaldo has a stronger trunk, which gives him more power on the field. Bale has huge calf muscles, giving him a speed that can only be compared to Hermes and his winged sandals. Now, Mbappe isn't technically as fast as the former Madrid player, but there's no denying that he'll get there. His top speed is recorded at 22.36 miles per hour, which is nearly the same as Achraf Hakimi. The best part is that both of them play for Paris Saint-Germain, along with stars like Lionel Messi and Neymar Jr. Like the NBA, soccer also has a set of 24-year-olds who know no bounds when it comes to speed, and are this close to crossing the sound barrier. Mbappe and Hakimi level with Erling Haaland from Manchester City as the fastest players, and it's only a matter of time until one of them takes the top spot. So there you have it, speed freaks. From Manchester City's Erling Haaland's fast feet to Usain Bolt's unbeatable record, those were the greatest speed demons in sports.